somewhere in the sands of time. I watch the world float to the dark side of the moon. I feel there's nothing I can do. I watch the world float to the dark side of the moon. After all, I knew it had to be something to do with you. I really don't mind what happens now and then, as long as you'll be my friend at the end. If I go crazy, then will you still call me Superman? If I'm alive and well, will you be there holding my hand? I'll keep you by my side with my superhuman mind. Kryptonite, yeah. Call me strong, call me weak, but still your secrets I will keep. You took for granted all the times I never let you down. Stumbled in and bumped your head. If not for me, then you'd be dead. I picked you up, I put you back on solid ground. If I go crazy, then will you still call me Superman? If I'm alive and well, will you be there holding my hand? I'll keep you by my side with my superhuman mind. Kryptonite. Oh. Here we go. If I go crazy, will you still call me Superman? If I'm alive and well, will you be there holding my hand? I'll keep you by my side, my superhuman mind. Kryptonite, kryptonite, kryptonite. If I go crazy, will you still call me Superman? If I'm alive and well, will you be there holding my hand? I'll keep you by my side, my superhuman mind. Kryptonite. Oh, krypton, beat it, beat it. No one's beat it. Set that show and I forget strong. It's your fight. It doesn't matter who's wrong or right. Just beat it, beat it. No one wants to clothes I'm wearing, can't you tell that your tie's too wide? Maybe I should buy some old tab collars. Welcome back to the age of jive. Where have you been hiding out lately, honey? Can't dress trashy till you spend a lot of money. Everybody's talking about the brand, it sound funny, but it's still rock and roll to me. What's the matter with the car I'm driving? Can't you tell that it's out of style? Should I get a set of white wall tires? Are you gonna cruise a miracle mile? Nowadays you can't be too sentimental. Your best bet's true baby blue continental. Hot funk, cool punk, even if it's old junk, it's still rock and roll to me. Oh, it doesn't matter what you say in the papers, it's always been the same old scene. It's a new band in town, you can't get the sound from a story in a magazine aimed at your average teen. How about a pair of pink sign widers and a bright orange pair of pants? Well, you could really be a bull rumble, baby, if you just give it half a chance. Don't waste your money on a new set of speakers, you get more mileage from a cheap pair of sneakers. Next phase, new wave, dance craze, anyways, it's still rock and roll to me. Oh, yeah. What's the matter with the crowd I'm seeing? Don't you know that they're out of touch? Should I try to be a straight-A student? If you are, then you think too much. Don't you know about the new fashion, honey? All you need are looks and a whole lot of money. It's the next phase, new wave, dance craze. Anyways, it's still rock and roll to me. Everybody's talking about the new sound funny, but it's still rock and roll to me. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. The day we sweated out on the streets of a runaway American dream. At night we ride through mansions of glory and suicide machines, sprung from the cages of Highway 9, chrome wheel fuel injected and stepping out over the line. Oh baby, this town rips the bones from your back. It's a death trap, it's a suicide rap. We gotta get out while we're still young, 'cause tramps like us, baby, we were born to run. Wendy, let me in. I wanna be your friend. I wanna guard your dreams and visions. Just wrap your legs round these velvet rims and strap your hands across my engines. Together we could break this trap. We run till we drop, baby, we'll never go back. Oh, and you walk with me out on the wide, 'cause baby, I'm just a scared and lonely rider. But I gotta find out how it feels. I wanna know if love is wild, babe. I wanna know if love is real. Oh, take it now. Beyond the palace, semi-powered drones scream down the boulevard. 'Cause comb their hair in rearview mirrors, and the boys try to look so hard. Amusement park rises golden star. Kids are huddled on the beach in a mist. I wanna die with you, Wendy, on the streets tonight in an everlasting kiss. The highway's jammed with broken heroes on a last chance power drive. Everybody's out on the run tonight, but there's nowhere left to hide. Together, Wendy, we can live with the sadness. I love you with all the madness in my soul. Oh, someday, girl, I don't know when we're gonna get to that place we really wanna go. We'll walk in the sun, but till then, tramps like us, baby, we were born to run. Oh, honey, traps like us, baby, we were born to run. Come on, Wendy, tramps like us, baby, we were born to run.
Hierdie WimTV show is nie geskik vir sensitiewe kykers of kinders jonger as 18 jaar. Die menings wat tydens die uitsending gelig word is slegs die van Wimpy, Simon en Stem. Dus is jy ingeskakel op eie risiko.
Some men aren't looking for anything logical, like money. They can't be bought, bullied, reasoned, or negotiated with. Some men just want to watch the world burn. It's showtime.
Goeienaand. Hoe gaan dit met julle?
Lekker, dankie.
Nie julle clowns nie, die mense daar buite. Almal wat ingeskakel is, baie dankie dat jy ons gejoin het vanaand en dat jy gaan aansluit by ons te lekker show vanaand. Ons het vir jou beloof, ons gaan met al die politieke partye praat, want ek gaan vir hulle vra, hoekom moet ons vir hulle stem? Ons is so, nie jy nie. Hoekom moet ons vir hulle stem? Want ons is so 'n bietjie aan die ligte kant en hulle sê altyd, die een party wat ons graag hier wou gehad het, is die rooi mure. En hulle het toe nou besluit, hulle wil nie deelneem vanaand hier. Wat nogal 'n bietjie van 'n teleurstelling is, want ek wou graag geweet het, waarheen moet ek gaan? Want hulle wil ons nie in die land en hulle het gesê ons moet gaan. So, ek wil graag by hulle gehoor het en nou is hulle nie hier nie. So, ons sal maar vir hulle 'n e-mail stuur en net by hulle hoor. Waarna toe moet ons gaan? Wanneer moet ons gaan? Hoe moet ons daar kom? Wie gaan betaal vir ons om daar te kom? En kry ons 'n visa?
Ja, en ja, soos jy sê, wie gaan die invoice betaal?
Wie gaan die invoice betaal?
Ja, want dan kan ek my land kies.
En onthou, dis COVID-19. So, weet jy wat, ons verwag 'n bietjie hulp. Ook, as ons nou moet gaan. So, hulle het gesê, vanaand moet ek almal voorstel, so ek gaan dit doen, gaga. So, kom ek stel julle gaga almal voor. Die band is terug. Well done, guys. Dis julle 5 weeks no pay. Well done.
Just another gig in COVID.
Just another COVID.
Nog geen verskil. Elke gig wat ek al ooit gespeel het, nog nooit betaal is.
So ons het vir Stanley op bass, ons het vir Mark Hayes op vocals en gitaar en ons het vir Justin Hoskin op gitaar. Dan het ons vir Stem en ons het vir Simon, daar is deel van die Terrible
Furniture.
Threesome. En dan agter die skerms gaan ek dan nou vir julle almal voorstel wat hier is. Ons het 'n klankman, ons het 'n switcher, ons het 'n kameraman en ons het 'n final mixer. Hoe's daai vir jou? Dit klink very impressive.
Ja, hoor, dit klink soos 'n regte program.
Dit doen, as ons net 3 aanbieders kan kry, is ons uit for away. En dan, vanaand gaan ons gesels met, Stem, gaan jy begin met die IFP se jeugleier?
Okay, ons het 'n Zoom call met 'n paar van die politieke partye se leiers. Ek soek dit net gou hierso.
Kan jy dit professioneel net vir ons aankondig?
Alright, ek is reg. So ons het vir Marie Sackers van die ACDP, sy leier in die Weskaap. dat ons vir Amanda de Lange van die VF+, sy is die provinsiale wetgewer vir die VF+ in die Gauteng, en Rofilie van die DA, sy is die nasionale spreekspersoon vir die party, en dan ook die EFP se jeugleier Tsokozisi Kumalu.
Well
Baie
done.
welkom. Ons
Yes,
gaan vir hulle,
well
dankie.
done.
Ek het geoefen heel middag. So ons gaan vir hulle op 'n Zoom call hê en ons gaan vir almal saamgooi en 'n bietjie gesels oor wat belangrik is in Suid-Afrika.
Dinge oor die algemeen. Ons wil net weet wanneer moet ons gaan en hoe gaan ons daar kom.
En is ons welkom.
En is ons welkom as ons nou nog toe gaan. En hoe weet hulle wie is van watter land af? Dis wat ek wil weet. As jy nou jy's Wimpie van der Sand, jy moet teruggaan, waarheen moet ek gaan?
Ja, ek weet jy skimp vir Ierland. Ek kry so 'n idee jy skimp vir Ierland.
Wel, die Guineas in Ierland, jy weet mos.
Yep.
So sal ons afskoop vanaand met die band. Mark, you guys, I sent you a playlist, you completely ignored it.
Pretty much, yeah. Seems to be like a trend we're following lately.
This is turning into a trend. So we're going to kick off tonight with a bit of the Beatles, are we?
Yeah, can't go wrong with the Beatles.
Yeah,
It's
there we
time.
go. Hans, jy moet net vir Mark 'n bietjie harder sê, hy praat baie sag.
I think I'm gonna be sad. I think it's today. Yeah. The girl that's driving me mad is going away. She's got a ticket to ride. She's got a ticket to ride. She's got a ticket to ride, and she don't care. She said that living with me is bringing her down, yeah. For she would never be free when I was around, yeah. She's got a ticket to ride. She's got a ticket to ride. She's got a ticket to ride, and she don't care. Don't know why she's riding so high. She ought to think twice, she ought to do right by me before she gets to saying goodbye. She ought to think twice, she ought to do right by me. I think I'm gonna be sad. I think it's today. Yeah. The girl that's driving me mad is going away. Oh, she's got a ticket to ride. She's got a ticket to ride. She's got a ticket to ride, and she don't care. I don't know why she's riding so high. She ought to think twice, she ought to do right by me before she gets to saying goodbye. She ought to think twice, she ought to do right by me. I think I'm gonna be sad. I think it's today. Yeah. The girl that's driving me mad is going away. Yeah. She's got a ticket to ride. She's got a ticket to ride. She's got a ticket to ride, and she don't care. My baby 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 don't care. I don't drink coffee, I drink tea, my dear. I like my toast done on one side. You can hear it in my accent when I talk. I I'm an Englishman in New York. See me walking down Fifth Avenue, a walking cane here in my hand. I take it everywhere I walk. I'm an Englishman in New York. Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York. Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York. Manners make a man, and some will say he's the hero of the day. It takes a man to suffer ignorance and smile. Be yourself, no matter what they say. Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York. Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York. Modesty, propriety can lead to notoriety. You could end up as the only one. Gentlemen sobriety are rare in this society. A night of candles brighter than the sun. Takes more than combat gear to make a man. Takes more than a license for a gun. Confront your enemies, avoid them where you can. A gentleman will walk but never run. If manners maketh manners, someone said, then he's the hero of the day. It takes a man to suffer ignorance and smile. Be yourself, no matter what they say. Be yourself, no matter what they say. Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York. Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in Blackburn. Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York. Be yourself, no matter what they say. Be yourself, no matter what they say. Be yourself, no matter what they say.
Die Biltong sessies raak net groter en beter en ons skop Oktober af met 'n groot kunstenaar. As jy dink aan vodka en OJ,
Vodka en OJ, Mayday, Mayday.
dan het Tina van Wyk
Haar naam is Tina van Wyk, die upperklaas het ontdek.
en 'n 68 Chevy,
Is jy nog steeds so lief vir my?
dan is daar net een naam wat sinoniem is met hierdie treffers. En dit is Bok van Blerk.
Delaray, Delaray.
Op Saterdag 3 Oktober maak Bok sy debuut op die Biltong sessies en kykers kan uitsien na treffers van Delaray se dae tot Sluise van die Hemel en Lemoene.
Wys my jou lemoene.
Maak seker jy kry jou kaartjie vir Bok van Blerk se aanlyn vertoning nou by WimTV.net. Slegs R55. Bok van Blerk, Saterdag 3 Oktober.
As jy nie van die woorde en te hou nie, moenie verder kyk nie.
Welkom terug. Jy is by WimTV en die WimTV episode nommer 5. Kan nie glo ons is al 5 down the line. and still going strong. So ons het hele klomp mense hier op Zoom. Ek gaan vir Stem, I'm going to give you the opportunity to just introduce everyone. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the show. Nice to have you guys on board, and thanks for. I know it's a Tuesday night. It's 8:15 in the evening, and I know there's lots of better things to do than speaking to 3 balding and aging white guys on a TV show that's that's probably only watched by our moms and a couple of other people. So yeah, thanks for joining us tonight. Stem, gaan jy vir ons voorstel aan almal?
Okay. Welcome everybody. Marie, welcome. I've got Amanda from the VF Plus, welcome. Rafilia from the DA, thank you for joining us. And also Tokazizi Tumalu,
Hey,
welcome.
you got that right, eh? Did he get it right? Did he get your name right?
No, he tried.
He tried.
He tried his best.
It's good enough. So thanks a lot for joining us, guys. We're gonna have a conversation tonight just about South Africa, the way where we're going, what's lying in store for South Africa in the future for people, and why should people vote for your party, and why is your party the best party to take South Africa forward into the new age and past COVID-19 and into economic recovery and etc. etc. So ons gaan begin sommer daar by Amanda. Jy's eerste by my op my screen as ek so vir jou kyk. So the first question we're going to ask you, I'm going to ask all of you the same question. So the first question is going to go, it's going to be based around gender-based violence. Where do you guys stand with that? And how are we going to sort out the problem of men in South Africa that don't know how to behave towards women? Kom ons begin by jou, Amanda.
Wimpie, baie dankie. Ek sal dit toe in Afrikaans en Engels doen. Ons sal dit maar so net om seker te maak almal is op dieselfde golflengte. Wimpie, die Vryheidsfront Plus is baie sterk gekant en die gender-based violence kwessie in Suid-Afrika is besig om heeltemal hand uit te ruk. Daar sal definitief meer gekyk en gefokus moet word op gemeenskappe, die ontwikkeling van ons jeug binne in die gemeenskappe, want ons sien al meer van ons jonger mense wat betrokke raak en wat betrokke is by gender-based violence, en tensy dit van die leierskap afgevoer word na die jeug toe. Die voorbeeld wat daar gestel word, die onderrig van jeug in die skole, in die universiteite, in die algemeen in hulle gemeenskappe, is verskriklik belangrik. Ons kan ook oor kultuurvelde gaan kyk na verskillende optredes, jy weet, maar ek dink ons moenie net na 'n spesifieke een kyk nie, dit verskil van kultuur tot kultuur, en ek dink ons moet dit in gedagte hou sodat ons rondom die kwessies kan werk, en elkeen uniek ervaar en uniek aanspreek ook.
Fantasties, baie dankie Amanda. Rafila, how do we pronounce your name? Let's start with that. My wife's name is Lelu, and they said to me it's more or less the same as Lelu, so I'm going to take it that it's Rafilu.
Good evening to you, Wimpie. Let me say good evening to the WimTV viewers as well. Rafilwe is the name. You can call me Refs to make it easy for everyone, like a referee. I'm Refs from the Democratic Alliance.
The minute you
Thank
say
you so
that,
much too.
The minute you say that, Stem wants to start his car and go into a racing competition. You know, he comes from, he's from the East Rand, so you should be careful.
I'm also from the East End. Welcome, Wimpie. Stem. I'm from Kempton Park.
Oh, Kempton Park. I know it well. We used to have a big international airport close to Kempton Park.
Yeah, we still do. We just need to make sure it's functional.
Reopen it. It's closed due to COVID.
Yeah, I miss my planes when I sleep. They used to lull me to sleep.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, I also miss it. I miss being on one. It doesn't make me sleep, but it makes me want to travel and drink Guinness. Tell us about the DA stance on gender-based violence.
I think the first and foremost thing is we must condemn gender-based violence and we must start being angry about it. The fact that it's become sort of seen as something that is normal is unacceptable in society. And I think the reason that I want to take it further is that in the DA, we've actually started internally by coming up with a sexual harassment policy. And I think we're one of the first parties to even develop that. And taking that further, we've even appointed a national protection officer. So when somebody accuses another member of gender-based violence, the person is offered protection within the organization. And the person this protection officer is Natasha Matsoni, who's also Chief Whip in Parliament. Then taking that further, you look at also the things that we should be condemning, because gender-based violence goes even broader into things like farm attacks, where you see the brutality of the killing, especially when you look at how women are raped and hacked to death. Those are the kind of things that we are completely condemning. So we cannot be here thinking this is a joke. I think this is one of those things where I want to say, we almost want to put aside our party alliances and start saying, this is a South African problem and we need to work together because the ruling party has failed us in terms of curbing this problem. What is a challenge that we see is, for one, if you look at the number of cases where the cases have been opened and the number of arrests, I'll give you an example because you talked about the East Rand. Being a political head for a place like Tembisa, which is close to Kempton, the number of cases that were opened, even now during lockdown, came to 297. How many of those resulted in arrests? You get only 167. So almost half of them fell through the cracks. And some of these cases have not even made it onto the court rolls. So there's a lot that has to be done, because what you then realize is the people who opened cases, they are not feeling safe enough to follow through with their cases, because in some cases they open a case, but the fact that it doesn't translate to an arrest, it means the work hasn't been done to say, why do they not carry on? Because it means the perpetrators are allowed back outside and they continue to victimize the victim who has opened this case. And so the victim then goes back and says, actually, I've come to close the case. One of the things we'd ask for is when a victim opens a case, the perpetrator should be moved out of the home, not the woman or the person who's the victim. So you're further victimizing the person. So those are the things that we've been asking for. If you also remember, we asked for a very long time to say we should have a sexual offences court, which has started being implemented. I think there's only 10 courts around the country. That's actually ridiculous when you remember that women are more than half the population in South Africa. And then you also look at the LGBTIQ community, who are even more vulnerable. So we cannot continue to be singing songs and not actually, we can't be singing to Jerusalem when people are living in such dire straits in our country. And some of it, we must also relate it back to economic empowerment of people, to say people stay in gender-based violence because they are dependent on the spouse for financial support.
Richard,
so there's a lot that needs to be unpacked when we come to this chapter. But thank you so much for that. For me, that is my opening.
You made a very good point, and you made a good point when we started off. You said it's almost a South African problem, and I want to come back to that. We'll come back to that later on, because I think there's a lot of people that needs to take responsibility for the fact that that we can say it's a South African problem, because I think there's a lot of there's a lot behind it. That makes it, or that turns it into a South African problem, because I think our political leaders and leadership in South Africa as a whole need to set a much better example. But we'll come back to that. And then, we've also got Stem, your friend from the IFP. For the last time, I'm gonna try to pronounce your name correctly, but I think you should actually say your name to us once, and then we'll get it.
Well, I wish you would be able to pronounce it. Quite difficult. In some of the black community cannot even pronounce them, my name. So it's quite a difficult name. It's Mtokozi Singumalo. I lead the IFP Group Brigade.
Well, I'll tell you one thing.
So I know it's quite awkward.
You know what? That's no problem. You've got a brilliant smile, so I'm just going to call you Smiley. How's that for the rest of the night?
No, let's give it to the name. Yeah, but going back to the topic of gender-based violence, I think honorable members, like Honorable Sukas here would recall that during the time of the COVID-19 lockdown, there was a big debate in the month of August in Parliament around the issue of gender-based violence. Now, you find that the main problem here is that you've got a societal issue here where women are abused each and every day in their homes, because mainly our women are abused by the people who are supposed to protect and love them. But subsequent to that, and what has prevailed under the lockdown is that we have said to our women and everyone in the country, stay at home, stay safe. But the very home has become a battlefield for our women and our children, because once you find them outside, the police will arrest them. They go back inside to the house, and then they're abused by their loved one. So it became a very societal issue where I felt, even in the debate in Parliament, that there is not politicized this scourge of gender-based violence. Let us remove the political caps that we were in Parliament and discussing other things, but let us say in our different homes, in our different communities, in churches, in every space that we can actually speak about gender-based violence, and start teaching our young people, our children, because mainly you'll understand that particularly when you are a guy, there's this language of saying boys will always be boys. So violence is okay for boys, right?
Yeah.
Because they're fighting each other at age 10, age 9. It's just known that boys will always be boys, and tomorrow they'll kiss and make up, and then it becomes okay for young men or boys to be violent. Now, subsequent to that, they grow up to be violent people. So I think initially we need to address that. And we have also said as the IFP that, you've got perpetual perpetrators, people who commit the same crime, they get a parole, they come back to abuse the very same people that they were charged to, they were prosecuted for. So it tells you that we must do away with what's this parole for those people who have done this continuously, and maybe let us have a review of the death penalty, because you've got continuous people who commit the same crime forever and ever, but they say it is a perception of saying it's a very small crime, so they can go in for one day and then a few days later they go out because our prisons are crowded or they are full. So I think essentially we need to review the death penalty policy and have the merits that would speak to what extent a person will then account for, because we know that it won't, the rates will not increase in any way, but it does justice to the person that has been killed by the perpetrator or the person that has done this. So I think societally, in all spaces, we must discuss this and start teaching our young people and our young children not to be part of this gender-based violence. I think that will be my contribution. But I just want to flag this as well. One of the former SABC presenters was saying in a video in YouTube, I don't know whether other members saw it, where he says that during the time of the first 21 days of lockdown, his daughter was abused by a family friend, repeatedly raped. Now, this is the leader in society, because there's a radio presenter in SABC. He says, I could have done anything to this person, but as a leader of society, I did not take the law into my own hands. The case. Now, without any intervention to his satisfaction, a few weeks later, the police come to tell him that the case has been withdrawn. The child was not taken for any testing. The child has not been, nothing has been done to the child. Now, he eventually made this video he addressed it to President Cyril Ramaphosa and the Minister of Justice, Minister Ramola. And only then the case was re-established. Now, this tells of one specific issue that a person was willing to speak because he's a known person in the community. But when you look at someone who does not have that kind of access and will not be able to tweet and go viral until it reaches the president, it says fundamentally that our justice system has not been on the side of our women to protect them and our children.
Ntokozizi.
Thank you very much.
How did I get your name right now? Ntokozizi.
Correct.
Can I ask you, the IFP, are you in favor of the death penalty?
The IFP has, I think it's the first party in Parliament in the previous sitting, the previous administration that proposed for an amendment to the death penalty. And we have said this continuously, even in our debate in August, I said it that we should have a review into the death penalty. So we are in support.
Okay. Representing the ACDC party, that's the one I'm going to vote for. The ACDP party tonight is it Marie of is it Marie of Marie? Marie. Gaan ons jou Marie noem?
Jy kan al twee gebruik.
Okay Marie, kom ons gaan met Marie. Sê vir ons, wat is die ACDP se standpunt oor geslagsgeweld en soos die Inkatha Vryheidsparty, ondersteun julle die doodstraf?
Ja. Ons is op rekord nou met die dood. Goeienaand eerstens aan jou en ook aan jou luisteraars. Dankie dat ek kan deelneem aan jou program. Die laaste, ek dink 'n week gelede in Limpopo provinsie het ons gesien Lizette Deacon en haar ma Hetty Deacon se dood. Ek het die familie besoek en regtig die een rede hoekom ek daar was omdat hulle dood dink ek is vir baie Suid-Afrikaners. We get to this point, I think, every month where we say this is the final nail, this is enough. And I saw a banner that really explains what we feel right now. It is more than enough, but gender-based violence aanbetref. So wanneer jy praat rondom die die doodsvonnis vir geweldsmisdade, ons is op rekord met die dood van Hetty en Lizette Deacon, waar ons sê dat die staat nou vir Suid-Afrika die geleentheid moet gee om te praat rondom die doodsvonnis. Daar is nie 'n genoegsame afskrikmiddel vir geweldsmisdaad nie. En wanneer jy in 'n sosiale in 'n land woon waar die sosiale strukture letterlik verval, dit is wat ons dit moet noem, ons sosiale strukture het heeltemal verval en ons het 'n staat wat funksioneer as 'n nanny staat wat probeer om alles te wees. En natuurlik is dit polities en ons moet en ek wil aansluit by wat die vorige sprekers gesê het, ons kan nie gender-based violence in isolasie sien nie, dit is nommer 1. Ons moet besef dat daar is sosiale wortels in ons gemeenskappe wat aanleiding gee tot die hoë geweldsvlakke wat ons sien en ook die intensiteit van die geweld wat vroue en kinders aan onderwerp word, né? En dan ook, en ek dink dit is die grootste probleem wat ons het, is dat ons kan nie gender-based violence politiseer nie, né? Ons het 'n groot probleem as leiers dat ons nie ons land herenig rondom of verenig rondom die sosiale uitdagings wat voor ons staan nie. Dit is ons grootste probleem, is dat ons nog steeds met ou verwysingsraamwerke na sosiale uitdagings kyk en so ons speel die politieke game en ons is op rekord en dit is ook die ACDP se uitgangspunt is dat ons moet saamwerk om Suid-Afrika se toekoms te verbeter. En ons sal dit nie doen as ons in politieke kampe is nie. Gender-based violence, I have to say, dit is die klad op die naam van hierdie land. Dit is die klad. And all of us are responsible to tackle the issues that is ahead of us. I think that is the base that we all need to work from when it comes to gender-based violence. Die vlakke van geweld is skokkend. Daar is die eerste keer vir my as 'n ma van 'n dogter, van 2 dogters, is Hannah Cornelius se dood. Haar dood het vir my vir weke het ek wakker gelê en dink aan daai kind se laaste ure van rondry in die middel van die nag. En vir elke Suid-Afrikaner wat 'n familie het, wat 'n vrou het, wat 'n kind het, gender-based violence is nie buite ons nie. Dit is in ons huise, dit gebeur met ons families, dit gebeur met mense wat ons ken. Dit is nie 'n probleem wat in die straat is nie, dit is nie 'n probleem wat in 'n hokkie gebeur, in 'n squatterkamp nie. Dit is 'n probleem wat gebeur in Constantia, hy gebeur in Menenberg, hy gebeur in Khayelitsha, hy gebeur op elke, ons moet dit we need to first of all own that gender-based violence doesn't have color, it doesn't have race, have a socio-economic status. Gender-based violence is a South African and the roots run country.
Awesome.
And,
Okay. Fantasties. Baie dankie, Marie.
Ja.
Ek dink wanneer ons terugkom, when we come back, guys, we're going to have a chat around why is it a South African problem? Why is it it's a South African, we all agree it's a South African problem, but why? Where does the roots lie? And does it lie deeper with people in powerful positions that's maybe not setting the correct examples for the rest of us? And not only that, what influence does something like social media and, not only social media, movies and television shows, etc., what sort of an influence does that have? We're going to go back to the band and going to take a song or two, and then we'll come back. If it's okay with you guys, we'll have another 10 minutes or so with you. And thanks again for joining us tonight and being part of the WimTV show. It's awesome to have all of you on board this evening, including you, Mtokozizi. I got it now. I'm going to stick with it now. You're going to hear a lot from me tonight. Got it, buddy. Kom ons gaan na die musiek toe. Mark, you and the guys, are you ready?
What were you doing when you're lonely? No one's waiting by your side. You've been running, hiding much too long. You know it's just your foolish pride. Hey, love, got me on my knees. Hey, love, begging, darling, please. Hey, love, darling, won't you ease my worried mind? Tried to give you consolation. When your old man had let you down. Like a fool, I fell in love with you. You turned my whole world upside down. Hey, love, got me on my knees. Hey, love, begging, darling, please, lay love. Darling, won't you ease my worried mind? Make the best of the situation before I finally go insane. Please don't say you'll never find a way. Tell me all my love's in vain. Hey, love, got me on my knees. Hey, love, begging, darling, please, hey, love. Darling, won't you ease my worried mind? Yeah, hey, love, got me on my knees. Hey, love, begging, darling, please, hey, love. Darling, won't you ease my worried mind? Layla, got me on my knees. Layla, begging, darling, please, Layla. Darling, won't you ease my worry? revolver, firing bullets in the sky. Your love is like a soldier, loyal till you die. I've been looking at the stars for a long, long time, never putting out fires all of my life. Everybody wants a flame, but they don't want to get burned. And today is our turn. Days like this lead to nights like this, lead to love like ours. You light the spark in my bonfire heart. People like us, we don't need that much, just someone that starts the spark in our bonfire hearts. The world is getting colder, strangers passing by. No one offers you a shoulder, no one looks you in the eye. But I've been looking at you for a long, long time, just trying to break through, trying to make you mine. Everybody wants a flame, but they don't want to get burned. Today is our turn. Days like this lead to nights like this, lead to love like ours. You light the spark in my bonfire heart. People like us, we don't need that much, just someone that starts the spark in our bonfire hearts. Our bonfire hearts. Oh, our bonfire hearts. Oh, our bonfire hearts. You light the spark. Days like this lead to nights like this, lead to love like ours. You light the spark in our bonfire heart. People like us, we don't need that much, just someone that starts the spark in our bonfire hearts. Oh, people like us, we don't need that much, just someone that starts the spark in our bonfire hearts.
Well done, julle. Ek dink ons klap vir die band lekker aan. Well done.
Ja, bossie,
Ja, well done.
It's like the one thing missing from studio, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. You missed the live crowd, eh?
You're lucky to have gigs like that, man.
Yes, absolutely. Rebs, tell me, we spoke earlier on and we had a nice chat and you mentioned a couple of things and I said to you, I think there's a bigger problem. And the bigger problem with us in South Africa, why is this a South African problem so much? And I think the big thing is there's a lot of gender-based violence because it's acceptable in South Africa, in society, and I think there's a lot of leaders that should actually stand up and be counted for. If you say things from a political at a political rally in front of thousands of people, and you can stand up and say something like "one settler, one bullet," and things like that, which makes us. I'm a whitey from Cape Town. It makes me uncomfortable because I think I'm a settler. I'm not sure. You know, I've been. My grandfather was born here. His father was born here. So I'm not sure. Do I fall under that category of being a settler? And if you can say things like that, one settler, one bullet, does that not constitute maybe, does that not incite not only gender-based based violence, but also things like farm murders, and that's one of the reasons why South Africa is the murder capital of the world. Do you think leaders should take responsibility for what they say?
Absolutely. I mean, Wimpy, for start, I don't think I have to be white to fight for rights for white people. Amanda is a colleague of mine in the legislature, and she knows very well that if we have to have an issue, I don't care what color she is, because I see her as another human being. So for me, when somebody says, if you can remember, even at one stage, the EFF said, when Arthur was still the mayor of Nelson Mandela Bay, we're going to cut the throat of whiteness. I was offended. I'm not white, but this was a human being and you're threatening life. That is inciting violence. I opened a case at Kempton Park Police Station today. Nothing has happened of that. I would have, even with Amanda, even though we have different political allegiances, I would still fight for her. So even if somebody says to me, one bullet, one settler, guess what, Wimpy? I'll go and open that case because I'm not Afrikaans, but you have a right as a human being to exist in this country. To me, I see you as an African. So I think the moral fiber is decaying. And the concern I also have is when we raise these things in the courts, it takes too long for the courts to reprimand and deal with these cases when they when the cases get open. People tend to think we open these cases for the media to see us. I didn't open that case for fun. I genuinely wanted Julius Malema to be arrested when he says he wants to cut the throat of whiteness. Because what is whiteness? Is it not everybody who's white? How far are we going to take it? Tomorrow, I'm Sotho speaking. Will it not be, I want to cut the throat of a Zulu because maybe Mthokozizi is a different tribe? So we'll go from race. Tomorrow we go tribal. What's next? Religion?
Gender.
Do you see what I mean?
Absolutely.
And these are the things that we need to start saying. If we believe in freedom of speech, there has to be responsibility with it. And responsibility is, I'm going to say what I want to say, but I have to make sure that what comes out of my mouth does not cause harm onto the person receiving it. And that's where the responsibility is. And that's what's been lacking. And that's what's not being managed. These are the things we really need to be condemning loudly as leaders in South Africa.
I just need to say at that point that we invited the EFF on the show tonight and they declined. I don't know why, but they declined the. Yeah,
I could help
because you're laughing. I think you know why. But yeah, they declined to be on the show tonight. They said to us, firstly, they won't come onto the show if we're going to mention clicks. And then we said to them, well, we can't guarantee that we're not going to ask about that. And then they said, well, they politely declined because of we had a show last week and we had a huge discussion around the word attack. What does that mean? What does attack mean? If you tweet the word attack, does that mean you're physically saying to your followers, well, go into a store and attack people or attack the store? What does that mean? There's only one meaning as far as I'm concerned about that. So they declined the offer to be here tonight. So just for the record, we did invite them. Amanda, wat is julle gevoel rondom die boodskap, die algemene boodskap van geweld wat van ons politieke leiers afkom?
Ek dink ons moet in die eerste plek nigter na hierdie storie kyk. Jy weet, as ons regtig sukses wil behaal, dan moet ons kleur en ras heeltemal uit dit uithaal. Want dit is nie 'n kwessie wat net op 'n sekere gemeenskap van betrekking het nie. Ons sê die leiers en ek praat nou van politieke leiers sowel as gemeenskapleiers moet verantwoordelik gehou word. Want daar's baie uitsprake wat gemaak word wat onnadenkend is, daar's baie uitsprake wat gemaak word waar dit eintlik die geweld aanblaas. Die voorbeelde wat gestel word, jy weet, en nou kan ons nou maar ook maar regtig waar as ons eerlik is met mekaar, moet ons maar kyk na die leiers ook van die land. Hoeveel van hulle was nie al aangekla nie, hoeveel van hulle was nie al uitgewys as skuldig nie, jy weet, of wat betrokke was by so iets nie. Daar's net eenvoudig geen reaksie en there's no consequence. on these issues. And I think that is one of the biggest problems that we sit with in South Africa, is that we actually got to a point where we tolerate gender-based violence. And if we talk gender-based violence, I want to point out something else that is people tend to forget about it. We're not just referring to physical violence. We're also talking emotional violence. Dit is die een ding wat vir die Vryheidsfront Plus 'n verskriklike sagte punt is, 'n teerpunt is en ons dryf dit baie hard. Refiel is vir jou sê ook dat my ledeverklaringe in Gauteng in die wetgewer is baie skerp en veroordelend, maar ek voel tog ons moet ook kyk na die feit dat daar ook 'n geweldige mate van emosionele geweld plaasvind. Nie net fisiese geweld nie. En ons gaan nie sukses bereik as ons nie kyk na baie strenger wetgewing en baie strenger vonnisopleggings, en dan moet ons hou daarby.
En
Ons kan
deurvoering
nie kom
daarvan.
by 'n punt waar daar 'n vonnis opgelê word. En nou word die man na 'n paar maande word hy vrygelaat want hy het hom nou mooi gedra, hy het hom nou goed gedra in die tronk. Ons kan dit glad nie doen. Hoegenaamd nie, en ek stem saam met Ntokozisi, is ons kan nie eers, daar moet nie eers vonnis what you call it, probation. Dit kan nie eers oorweeg word nie. Waar iemand enigsins 'n geweld pleeg teenoor 'n vrou. En vroue en kinders is ons sagter lede van die gemeenskap. Jy weet, as iemand homself so ver vind dat hy werklik waar iets kan doen, en ek praat nou hier uit ondervinding uit. Ek was self in 'n raadsvergadering met die vuiste geslaan, nadat die opdrag gegee was. Jy weet, dit was nou 'n paar jaar terug. My dogter was geskiet toe sy 12 is. Sy is met die vuiste aangerand so 'n paar jaar terug, toe sy 8 maande swanger was. Dit is alles op kamera. Dit het baie wye media dekking geniet.
Wat het geword daarvan? Wat het gebeur met die saak?
Niks. Nee, niks nie. Want ons neem dit nog nie ernstig genoeg op nie. En ek dink, ek wil so ver gaan om te sê, dit is 'n siekte in Suid-Afrika. Dis 'n siekte. Dis 'n siekte dat hierdie goed gebeur. Dis 'n siekte dat vrouens wreed vermoor word. Hulle was nie net vermoor, jy weet, ons loop in en ons skiet jou dood, jy het dit nie eens geweet of besef wat gebeur nie. Dis die brutaliteit wat saam met dit gaan.
Ja.
Dit is asof daar 'n genot gepik word uit die oortreders uit om dit jy weet, om dit toe te pas op weerlose mense, en ek praat nou vrouens en spesifiek nou kinders in hierdie geval. En soos ek sê, jy weet, voordat ons nie regtig waar wys dat ons ernstig is hieroor en dit van die regering se kant af ook kom nie. Jy kan nie net verwag dat dit van die gemeenskap af moet kom nie. Jy weet, die gemeenskap volg die mense wat hulle lei. So ons moet bo begin. Jy weet, en ons moet dit afwentel anders doen, maar ons moet ernstig wees oor hierdie goed.
Ja.
En jy weet, dit is maar ons standpunt.
Ntokozisi, what is your what do you feel as a guy? You standing, you're watching a political rally, or you're watching television, and one of the leaders of South Africa stands up and says something like "kill a boer, kill a farmer," or "one settler, one bullet." Do you feel that's part of the whole violent culture in South Africa? Is that part of it? Does that amount to anything?
Well, I think, Wimpy, it fundamentally goes back to what I indicated earlier, of saying that boys would be boys. And essentially, it perpetuates to saying that, I've got a very big problem with radical political engagement, because it seeks to remove the logical application of mind in terms of dealing with whatever issues. Because the truth of the matter is that people who are staying in farms are being abused by the farms in one way or the other. So having a pushback of another form of violence or whatever is not going to heal the wound of those who are being affected. Then you will recall that even today, the police minister had to go to Newcastle in KwaZulu-Natal in the north to address that very same thing, because 2 farmers had been killed by the farm dwellers. Now, when he starts engaging them, the farm dwellers try to express their experience in the farm. But as you know, when you speak to those people, you can actually understand that they are angry. Now, as a political head or as a political leader, to stand up and make that kind of statement to already angry people, we are pushing them to a verge of violence. Whether you say you were not condoning violence in whatever way, but the interpretation that the people are going to get. So it becomes extremely irresponsible for anyone who is in the public space to speak highly and say we must attack, like we were saying earlier. What does attack mean? I mean, we must actually define what do you mean when you say we are attacking cliques or we are attacking the whites in our country. Now, who formed critical thinking around the charter, freedom charter that speaks to South Africa belongs to all those who live in it. Now, in the same breath, you want to segregate the people who live in the same country and who are subjected to the same constitution that you have pledged to uphold. I mean, it becomes the contradiction from the beginning to the end, but one is not surprised. I think the EFF has been contradicting itself ever since it was founded, and they kill for this person, they want them dead the following day. So one of the members was saying that if you were to leave and fly overseas for a week, you'll find them fighting for economic transformation. Then you come back from abroad, you find them fighting for something else. So, you know, once you start turning your politics around their thinking, you'll be extremely confused. But maybe just getting back to the issue of gender-based violence, you know, I think President Ramaphosa has also called this as a second pandemic. When we were clouded by the pandemic of COVID-19, it was at its highest peak. President Ramaphosa pronounced himself to say that we need to deal with this substantively because it has become a second pandemic, and it prevailed more importantly during this time of COVID-19 when the country was still on lockdown. Now, it speaks of a fundamental issue of saying, do we as men sit, you know, one thing I used to enjoy as a kid was these book clubs, because you sit around and discuss a book and share ideas and what you think of it. But have we developed a space where just as men, because I think a male voice in this topic of gender-based violence is the one that is more important than the woman's voice. I think women have been at the receiving end. They've been always crying out about this, and there's no receipt from men who have said, enough is enough. I think we should also one day just wear our black uniform and go to the street and take to the street so that we express our dismay at the attacks that are made to our women and children. Because it might not be my daughter today, it might not be my aunt or someone, but it's going to happen to them tomorrow. Will I expect society to sympathize and actually help me? But if I do not do that to someone who has been subjected to that kind of treatment, how do I then expect anyone to hear us? Because, you know, in some of the families, when a family member abuses a child or anyone in the family, it is the very same family that is going to say, we are going to humiliate our family, don't pursue this. Because this person who is the perpetuator or who committed the crime is respected in the community, is probably the pastor, is probably the richest uncle in the family, but using his finances in order to manipulate those little ones by buying them, buying them things and etc. So eventually they say, we are going to put our family in dismay, you know, the publicity and whatnot. And then the uncle will come and say, no, we'll pay you 10,000 rands, don't open the case. So that is where we need to get to, because that is where the problem actually lies. We need to condemn this, and whoever does it, whether respected by what councillor, you are a member of parliament, you are the president or whoever, you must be subjected to the same laws that are put here in the constitution of our country. I think strongly we must condemn this and actually continue debating it. You know what, the one thing I like about this discussion is that it's not happening in August, because what I've realized ever since coming to parliament is that you've got all these debates that are scheduled annually. I'm sure sometime this month we're going to Heritage Month. We go to Youth Month, debating Youth Month in August, women gender pay. It is box ticking exercise which bears no fruit. When we open in parliament, there'll be statistics on youth unemployment, jobs unemployment, and then the political party will say there is unemployment. then into the youth after you have debated it, because they still remain, so I think there must be effort. You wish for a government that is going to put plans and efforts to ensure that we eradicate these social ills that are affecting our country. I think it's really, we've had enough.
Absolutely, I completely agree with you. I've also had enough. I've also had enough. Simon's had enough. I think we're going to chat about Simon's problems just now. Marie, voordat ons verder gaan, sê gou-gou vir ons van die ACDP se kant af vinnig, wat is die oplossing vir nie net gender-based violence nie, vir geweld oor die algemeen in Suid-Afrika? Hoe gaan ons mense se persepsies verander rondom geweld? Jy moet jouself net unmute, dink ek, Marie. Ek dink jy het jouself gemute daar.
Jammer hoor.
Nee, is reg.
Ek dink die grootste uitdaging voor ons is ons is die mees ongelyke land jy weet in die wêreld, en die ekonomiese weerloosheid van vroue en kinders is een van die grootste bydraes tot gender-based violence. Ek dink een van die hartseerste dinge wat 'n mens neerskryf in 'n toespraak en wat ook genoem was deur die Vryheidsfront vanaand, is dat vroue moet teruggaan elke keer na dieselfde abuser, omdat hulle weerloos is. En as ons as Suid-Afrikaners, en ek dink die notion is natuurlik baie romanties, of kom ons sê dit is natuurlik favorable vir ons. Jammer, nou die Afrikaanse woordeboek skrywer gaan nou seker hiervan nou nie, maar ek sal hom nou meng hierso. Dit is natuurlik favorable vir ons om as oppositie om te sê, ja, dit is die staat wat faal. En ja, ons almal stem saam, die staat het gefaal. Maar ons moet ook almal sê dat ons as Suid-Afrikaners het die weerlose mense in ons gemeenskappe gefaal. Wanneer ons wanneer ons nie kyk na die wat kinders, ek het nou net vanaand, ek sit hier in die Karoo, hier tussen die berge, en dit is hoekom ek nou so swak sein het, maar net vanaand het iemand vir my laat weet dat daar is 'n jong seun wat in 'n hondehok slaap. Hy slaap in 'n hondehok, nie net vir 'n maand nie vir 2 maande nie, hy slaap vir meer as hoeveel maande in 'n hondehok. Sy ouers is geskei en sy maat weer getrou. Jy weet wat ek meen? So as ons oë toemaak vir die weerlose wat rondom ons is, wat gebeur met daai kind sielkundig? Wat gebeur met vroue wat oor en oor, jy weet, wat in 'n hokkie moet bly, en dan moet jy betaal. Jy moet betaal met daai grant wat maar baie, baie min is. En in baie gevalle moet vroue betaal op ander maniere om 'n dak oor hulle en hulle. So Suid-Afrikaners moet 'n verantwoordelikheid neem vir die armes rondom ons, en dit beteken, en ek wil teruggaan na die issue toe rondom kleer. Die dag wanneer ons as leiers ophou om mense emosioneel te manipuleer, om elke keer te verwys na die verlede as 'n verskoning, om ons mense in 'n slagoffersmentaliteit te hou, is die dag wanneer ons waarlik vry hier uit gaan loop. Dit pas die politiese dinamika vir ons om elke keer terug te verwys en te sê dat jy weet ek is so, of ek moet verwag dat jy, die klikshare ding is 'n baie goeie voorbeeld van dit. Dat ons kan dans en winkels afbrand en beklei oor hare, terwyl daar miljoene, triljoene rande van korrupsie down the drain gaan, en ons self ook as leiers jy weet, geïmplikeer word vir geld wat verdwyn. There is a moral responsibility, Wimpie. Daar's 'n morele verantwoordelikheid wat ons het as leiers nommer 1, en 'n morele verantwoordelikheid wat ons het as Suid-Afrikaners om 'n verskil te maak. En dit beteken ons moet die verlede agterlos. En ons moet bou aan 'n nuwe Suid-Afrika deur verantwoordelikheid te neem vir die welstand van ons mense. En dit beteken jou neighbor langs jou. Dit beteken die kind wat jy weet wat nie kos het nie. Dit beteken dat ons is almal verantwoordelik om dit te doen.
Ek stem saam met jou. Ek dink as ons een boodskap hier uit kan vat vanaand, if we can take probably only one lesson that we all need to learn in this, it's accept responsibility And you know what? Just stand up for yourself and stand up for other people, because if you consider other people, race would not come into it. Color would not come into it because you're considering everybody else. So ek wil vir julle sê baie dankie dat julle saam met ons gekuier het vanaand. Thanks very much, Rev, for joining us tonight and being part of the discussion. Hopefully sometime in the future soon we'll have a chat again. And I think all of you guys, I would vote for every one of you, at the drop of a hat, because none of you actually said go back to where you came from, because we don't know where that is either. So thank you very much for joining us tonight. We appreciate it, and we'll call on you again. Baie dankie, Amanda. Reeves, thanks very much, and Marie, baie dankie vir dat julle geskakel het. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Baie dankie. Right, nou het jy dit was so vinnige gesprek rondom nie net die kwessie van geslagsgeweld nie, maar die kwessie van geweld in Suid-Afrika. En ek dink die ding wat baie goed oorgekom het daar is die feit dat ons leiers moet begin 'n verantwoordelikheid vat. Jy kan nie op 'n politieke verhoog gaan staan en skree, maak dood die settlers en maak dood 'n boer en skiet 'n farmer en allerhande twak, want iewers there along the line moet iemand opstaan op jou sê, hoor jy Julius Malema, jy is besig om kak te praat, jy hoort agter tralies as jy dit doen. Jy kan nie dit doen nie, en ons laat dit net toe. Iewers there somewhere ons moet ons die streep trek en sê, hoor jy, ons as 'n samelewing kan dou nie dit wat jy doen.
En ons het laasweek gepraat met Prof en hy het vir ons gesê ons het probeer uitfigure hoekom iemand soos Julius Malema weggaan mee. Jy weet, hoekom word hy nie gearresteer nie? En hy het vir ons verduidelik hoe die tegniese dat iemand anders word altyd vorentoe gedruk en vat die val daarvoor. So
ja, hy kom weg daarmee want iemand soos Shabir Sheikh lê op sy doodbed en speel golf vir die klubkampioenskap.
Ek wonder baie keer nou of daai politieke leiers nie die advantage vat van soos wat die persoon van die IFP gesê het, né?
Talk is easy.
Ja, ek is nog nie so goed soos jy nie, maar waar hulle advantage vat van mense wat al klaar ongelukkig is oor verskeie goeters.
Becky Chelly.
Ja, weet jy wat, daar's mense wat arm is, hulle kom uit COVID uit, hy's honger, hy voel nie lekker nie, weet jy wat, die boer het hom nou net uitgetrap, want hy het 'n mielie gebreek, of whatever die geval mag wees. Hy's klaar nie lekker nie. Ja. Nou kom 'n leier uit waarna jy veronderstel is om op te kyk na, hulle sê iets sensitief, en dis net daai verkeerde tyd, daai verkeerde plek. Ek maak nie verskonings nie, maar ek sê, dit is waar maar wat ek weer wil sê is kom dit nie neer op politieke maturity nie.
Ja, en ek is jammer, ek het 'n probleem met iemand wat, ek het 'n probleem om iemand ernstig op te neem wat soos Al Capone lyk. Sorry, ek rarig waar, as jy is 'n politieke leier, weet jy wat, look the part, ten minste.
Ja.
So, ja.
En
act the part. Wanneer ons terugkom, dan gaan ons so 'n bietjie verder sels met Simon veral, want jy weet, gender-based violence, I don't know if you guys know, but it cuts both ways. Daar's mans wat ook mishandel word. Ek weet Simon gaan uit met 'n gym instruktrise. So
en
weet jy
wat hoe voel 'n 9 kg weight teen die oor? Sê het 'n vriend van my. Het 'n vriend my vertel, blykbaar. Ja. En weet jy wat, die lyf kom nie net van stil sit nie. Ek moet partykeer bietjie draf om weg te kom. Ek joke net, dis net 'n grappie. Eina.
Kom ons weet, ons gaan maak.
Iemand val my.
Someone needs to break this nonsense up.
Yeah, you know what, you can...
Maybe Elvis.
Not today. Well, maybe later, yeah, let's see.
Maybe Elvis, okay.
But today you need something else to hear.
In the morning is see your eyes, Rosanna, Rosanna. Never thought that a girl like you could ever care for me, Rosanna. All I wanna do in the middle of the evening is hold you tight, Rosanna, Rosanna. Didn't know you were looking for more than I could ever give. Not quite beat you all the way. Beat you all the way. Rosanna, yeah, beat you all the way. Beat you all the way. Rosanna, yeah. I can see your face still shining through the river on the other side. Rosanna, Rosanna, didn't know that a girl like you could make me feel so sad. Rosanna, all I wanna take is a night I never ever have to compromise. Rosanna, Rosanna, never thought that losing you could ever hurt so bad. Not quite a year since you went away. Rosanna, yeah. Now she's gone, and I have to say, beat you all the way. Meet you all the way. Rosanna, yeah. Meet you all the way. Meet you all the way. Rosanna, yeah. Not quite a year since you went away. Rosanna, yeah. Now she's gone, and I have to say, meet you all the way. I'll meet you all the way. Rosanna, yeah. Meet you all the way. Meet you all the way. Rosanna, yeah. I was working part-time at a 5 and dime. My boss was Mr. McGee. He told me several times that he didn't like my kind, 'cause I was a bit too leisurely. Seems that I was busy doing something close to nothing, but different than the day before. That's when I saw her. Ooh, when I saw her, she walked in through the outdoor. She wore a raspberry beret, the kind you find in a second-hand store. Raspberry beret, and if it was warm, she wouldn't wear much more. Raspberry beret, I think I love her. Built like she was, she had enough to ask me. I planned to do her any harm. So look here, I put her on the back of my bike, and we went riding down by the old man Johnson's farm. I said, no, overcast days never turn me on, but something about the clouds in her mix, ooh, wasn't too bright, but I could tell when she kissed me, she knew how to get a trick. She wore a raspberry
volgende WimTV uitsending misloop nie. Elke Dinsdag om 8uur. Besoek wimtv.net en kry jou kaartjie. As jy regtig wil weet wat in die land aangaan.
Nkandla.
Ongesensor, onbeskaamd en nie vir sensitiewe kykers. Maak seker jy is deel van die volgende WimTV uitsending met Wimpy, Simon en Stem. Maak Hayes en die WimTV band gaan sorg vir die musiek. Sien jou daar.
At Spur, we start cooking your ribs so long before you order them, you'd swear we knew you were coming. We start with Spur seasoning, a 24-hour marinade and a slow cook until they're good and tender. Finally, our master griller flame sears all that flavor in at 350 degrees. Now you know why your Spur ribs are falling off the bone. Steak, ribs, and burger people. Spur, people with a taste for life.
Is jy gatvol vir korrupsie,
There's a broken president in a broken country.
plaasmoorde, COVID-19, BLM en rasisme? Dan is jy op die regte plek. WimTV, ongesensor en onbeskaamd.
Interessant van daai gesprek. Well done to you guys.
Yeah.
Julle was weer eens uitstekend. Nice song, Raspberry Beret.
Nice choice. Well done. Well done.
Yeah.
Listen,
Well,
it's
you should
taken
do
5
Idol.
episodes, but you finally clapped for us.
Has everyone said you must do idols or some competition or
Once
something?
someone said that
You
to
need
me.
to, I think, I've got an ear for these things.
Do
and
you?
My friend.
With all the keys you
I've
sing,
got,
my
with
friend,
all
you
the
know.
keys I've got in my head, I can tell it, I can spot the
talent.
I can spot the
Yeah,
talent.
yeah, yeah.
very,
There
very
aren't
quickly,
many
yeah.
people that can sing all the keys at the same time. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, coming from me, I
Coming
mean,
up. Absolutely.
that's what I do.
Most
my friend.
musicians, professionals like Justin, we choose one, but you go for all of them in one go. It's like a
kind of envious.
And you know, it gets progressively worse. The thing
Worse
is,
than what I heard.
Most people, you know, they get better with time. So Simon's do you know that song, I Wanna Live?
Yes.
I think we should get Simons to sing it.
Yeah, but we need to do that maybe on a like when there's like more people. Yeah.
Oh, you want a crowd?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
Full-on concert.
What I do want to tell you is, can you sing when the guitar is not in tune?
Yeah.
Can you?
Yeah.
Okay, well that makes two of us then, because it's not many
You
people.
can't sing when the guitar is in tune. Pal.
You know what? I think it just solved the whole thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
We need to put that guitar out and you'll be on.
Yes.
We just mute the guitar for the audience and you
That's
sort
what
it.
I've been saying all along.
That's the
It's
way.
The
like-
guitar is the problem.
It's like cricket. You need to be out to be in. And then
Yes.
If you're in, you're out.
Yeah,
That's
and
way
the
it goes.
moment you're out, you get the chance to be in again.
Yes.
Ja.
So, het julle opgelet dat twee van die politieke partye wat ons aan boord gehad het vanaand was ten gunste van die doodstraf.
Ja, en weet jy wat was interessant is dat ons dit was een van die vrae wat ek en hy bespreek het van die lig af en hulle het dit genoem uit hulle eie uit en dit is my nogals interessant want ek en hy het so 'n bietjie daaroor gepraat voor die program en dis iets waarop ek nogals ek moet vir jou sê ek voel sterk daaroor alhoewel ek weet dit is 'n bitter drastiese manier om 'n probleem op te los. Ek besef die repercussies van so besluit en ek weet dit is jy weet konstitusioneel is dit moeilik om
te verander.
Maar my probleem is ek gaan dit vir jou sê net gou soos wat ek dit vir hom verduidelik het uit die ou maniere uit. Nou, as ek stout was het ek pak slaag gekry en dit is hoekom ek minder stout is nou.
Jy's polities baie inkorrek.
Hoekom?
Jy mag nie meer kinders slaan nie.
Nee, ek sê
of jy
ek
mag
was
nie meer pak gee nie.
Ja, ek
Koos
was in
begin dan.
daai era waar ek pak slaag gekry het. So wat ek sê is dis hoekom ek so soet is
Kyk
vandag.
het jy uitgedraai.
My vriend, jy weet hoe soet is ek.
Jy kan nog steeds nie sing.
Hè? Ja, maar well,
Your dad should have probably hit you a
gee
little
my
harder.
pak slaag
Pal,
dan
shame.
sing.
He would have been on key.
I think he clapped the key out of you probably.
Well, you know what's the funny thing is? It's only Wimpy that says I can't sing.
No, but
Even
it's
though
me too.
he's
It's me, pal. We're all here. Let me
No,
tell
no,
you
it's
as
die
your
Simon,
friend.
ek het nog net die kans gehad om te praat hier. Ek stem saam.
Die ander ding is nou, the person that asked me the most to sing is him.
That's because it's kakfani. That's why.
Yeah, that's why.
Mark, now you're getting very close to this circle now. I feel so at home with you here
The
now.
door just went.
Hierso is vir julle 'n interessante vraag. Dink gou hieroor. As jy ons almal sê bring terug die doodstraf, almal ten gunste daarvan. Ja, weet jy wat, maak hulle dood. Hoe?
Dis presies wat ek in stem nou net oor gepraat het. Ek sal
As jy die doodstraf terugbring.
Ja.
Hoe?
Nee, dit is hoe ek vir jou gesê het en hy selfe asem het ek gesê dis 'n drastiese stap want daai vraag het ek, daai antwoord het ek nie.
Maar het ons nie 'n drastiese stap nodig hê? Want die scourge is nou dis buite beheer. Ons het nou ek het nog geluister wat hulle sê en ons het nie eers eintlik die vraag gevra nie en hulle al weet 2 van die 4 partye was ten gunste van die doodstraf en vir 'n politieke party om so iets publiek te sê is nogal dit spreek boekdele en die ander 2 partye het nog nie 'n kans gehad om te antwoord hê. So dit mag dalk 4 uit 4 wees.
Vir my dek dit die tafel baie interessant vir ek dink 'n baie interessante munisipale verkiesing wat voor lê. Wat nou, wanneer is dit? November.
Ja.
Ek dink dit gaan baie interessant wees om te sien want ek gaan geïnteresseerd wees om te sien hoe gaan op watter grondslag gaan politieke partye dit fight. Hier is 'n perfekte voorbeeld, doodstraf. Bring dit terug. Okay, kom ons bring die doodstraf terug. Hoe maak jy iemand dood? Hoe doen jy dit? Hoe sê okay, jy het die doodstraf gekry, ons gaan die uithaal, wat gaan ons doen? Gaan ons jou inspuiting gee? Het jy dit al gesien?
Weet jy, dit is 'n baie dit is asof jy vir my stem afgeluister het voor die program want ons het presies oor hierdie ding gepraat en ek kan nou baie vir jou antwoord maar ek gaan nou nie nou daar kan die punt is net dit is baie drasties.
Dit is drasties, maar Wimpie die regte punt hierso is wat anders? Gaan ons dit nie doen nie en gaan ons net so aangaan vir die volgende 5, 10, 20 jaar en dan eers wakker skrik of gaan ons 'n besluit maak?
Mark, from a liberal point of view, because you always the voice of reason on the show. Let's be honest. Simon is
I've got a target on my back already. Let me just say it. Like,
yeah, and Stem at the best of times he's being neutral, but you always the voice of reason from a liberal point of view.
I think, and again, this is just my own opinion, but there's so many things that still need to be fixed before you go death penalty. And as South Africans, have you noticed something about us? We're like, okay, love everyone. And then 5 minutes later, oh, he hurt my friend. Kill everyone. So there's like, it's left and right. You know what I mean? At some point, we've got to be somewhere in the middle. But the coolest thing about this, because I got to watch it, just like the viewers at home got to watch it, the coolest thing about the call is that there's no shouting, there's no this, there's no you're wrong, there's no that. I mean, the 3 or 4 of them could have formed their own political party. Right. In fact, I hope they're going home right now and saying, come guys, let's gang up. And we all seem to have the exact same idea. It's just chumps like Malema goes up and causes a stir. And that's what it is. It's sensationalism. And it causes conversation like we're having right now. Going like, well, we better bring back the death penalty because everyone's being murdered and everyone's being killed. And we may as well kill them all so that they don't kill us first. And it's not true. Correctional facilities need correcting, in other words. You know, the law needs to be checked out. It starts like from the beginning. And Stan can back me up because you're an economics major, but I'm political major, excuse me.
Political and economics.
I've been schooled, sorry. But like everything they're talking about, gender-based violence, equality, racial discrimination, things like that, all comes down to one thing, and that's like it's hate. Or it's just diversity.
Intolerance.
Yeah.
It's intolerance.
You look at something, and I got little kids at home, so like the word hate comes up a lot, and you go, no, don't say the word hate. Say like you don't dig him, or like he's just different from me, and you know what? That's actually okay.
No,
the
absolutely.
coolest thing is like the differences in this room alone is like it's stifling. And if we all looked at it and went like, yeah, no, Simon, you can't sing, or Justin, you just play classical guitar all the time, and Mark, your hair's too long, and like you know, like and that sort of thing. Like it would be the most boring world if everyone just went like, okay, it's cool. So you like chicken, I like fish. The vegans, they must go stand over there, but it's okay, we love you. But but like if everyone would just be like, okay.
Chicken and fish. Simon is still convinced it's the same thing.
What? No.
Chicken is that
I want to ask Wimpy, because you said something and you just said something. You said on what grounds and on what basis are they going to fight the municipal elections? And you saying, you know what, you know, the death penalty might be a bit too extreme, let's fix the basics again. And And I'm wondering if that middle ground is not the ground that people like Malema is trying to collect. The same thing that Trump did in America, where he took a target or a group of people and he went for that, and it was definitely not politically correct, and it was definitely not mainstream media correct in any way possible. However, he said something, and he
the American jobs, give jobs to Americans.
He went to the grassroots people. The difference in South Africa is the grassroots people here are desperate for other things to stay alive. In America, it was a different thing. But I'm saying the fight might be the same. The game plan might be the same.
Yeah, look, the root, like I said, the root of it is still, like in America, it was, if you take the average American, because he aimed at the American man, give the jobs to the Americans, leave the Mexicans out, build a wall. He was sensationalistic, he did, and that's what got him. So all the celebrities were talking about him going, Trump's not our president, let's form a rally. But the average person was going like, well, hell, I want a job.
The problem was that the left, or the elite left, didn't realize how strong the man on the ground was, and they took it for granted because they've had it for all. They always had it. I mean, they got the money, they got the airtime, they got everything.
Ja, en jy weet, ons was laas jaar April in Amerika. En ek weet nie baie dinge het dalk verander met COVID-19.
Ja.
Wat nou Trump het dit nie goed gehanteer nie. En kom ons wees eerlik. Maar tot en met dan, tot en met April verlede jaar, sien wanneer julle was saam, het jy you got a distinct feeling that Trump was going to walk this year's election.
Absolutely.
By a landslide.
Including Washington.
If you were talking to normal people that were driving Ubers, that were working in restaurants, that were your waiter, the normal blue-collar Americans loved Trump because he created work. There was suddenly job opportunities. The economy was looking up. So I don't know if things have changed over there with COVID-19. I don't know. I haven't been there since April. But if the election was last year April, he would have walked.
Absolutely. En weet jy wat, het het minder gegaan oor wat hy gesê het, want mense worry nie. Wat jy op TV sê, maak jy, whatever. Wat gebeur vanaand in my huis? Wat het ek 'n job vanaand? Ons het met ouens gepraat wat hulle restaurante verloor het. Ons het een ou, ek kan nie onthou nie, in Vegas of iemand met iemand saamgery wat letterlik nou Uber ry en hy sê hy's fine. Hy's meer as gelukkig. Hy's content. Hy het te werk en dit was nie glad nie enigsins iets waarop jy neergekyk het of it was nothing you look down on. Like Wimpy said, it was like he said, it was just a given. It was going to be he was going to win the next election.
I think if you look back at like a real unity moment in our country is Nelson Mandela coming in and going, look, and he established a fantastic plot line, I suppose, going like, we are the Rainbow Nation. We're all different, we look different, we sound different, but we're all African.
And you know what? Every now and then, something happens that makes you believe that again. Because South Africa has got that in. We've got that in us.
Yeah.
All of us.
No, there are snakes in the grass, like
It's
Malema, that are trying to
absolutely time
twist.
that we call out the doers amongst us, which is the guys that stand up and kill this one and kill that and attack and blah. Julius Malema is 'n doers. Kom ons wees nou maar eerlik. Weet jy wat? You should be called out if you're racist both ways. And he's a racist. Hy is 'n rasis uit en uit. En as jy 'n rasis is either kant toe, call you out. You should be called out. En hierdie bullshit dat jy kan net 'n rasis wees as jy wit is. Wat se twak is dit? Dis nonsens. Jy kan nie net 'n rasis wees as jy wit is nie. Dis mos nou twak. So dis tyd dat ons die poepholle onder ons begin uitkol en sê hoor hierdie ou is not fit to be there. He's not fit to hold office. Ry rond in jou Gucci pyjamas en bla bla bla. Kieleboer, kielefarmer, want jy kry die ondersteuning van massas op die grondlevel. Dieselfde met die ANC. Dis hoekom die ANC nie 'n goeie gemiddelde middelklas wil hê nie. Jy kry ryk mense en jy kry arme mense. Want gemiddelde mense wat in die middel lewe, sal nie vir hulle stem nie. Jy kry die uiterste pole, jy kry die superryk is en die superarm is. Die superarmes bly vir hulle stem met my oupa en ouma het vir
En
hulle
hulle word
gestem.
bang gepraat.
En hulle word bang gepraat wat die wit mense gaan weer oorvat.
Presies.
Dis amper soos ons in PV Botha se tyd wat ons gehad het.
Absoluut, dis 100%
die swart gevaar.
Ja, swart gevaar en weet die lang nag van die lang messe
Die
en
nag
elke
van die
ding.
lang. Ja, jy weet daar was mense gewees, ek het een keer 'n onderhoud gevoer met met 'n koppel op die lug. Ek het toevallig daarvan uitgevind. Hulle het geglo Uhuru. Dit was die nag van die lang messe. En wat funny was daar was 'n vals nuusberig wat die rond is gedoen het dat Mandela is dood. Hy het dood gegaan. En dit was nie waar nie, dit was soos
ja, fake news.
15 jaar gelede,
Was op
fake
CNN.
news. Dit was 10 teenoor op CNN. en dit was fake news geweest. En weet jy wat, daai mense het gery, hulle het vir 2 weke by 'n dam gaan bly. En hulle het daar gebly en hulle het daar gewag vir die res van die boere om te kom. Want dit was die plek waar hulle moes ontmoet wanneer Mandela doodgaan. En hulle het so geglo daarin dat hulle vir 2 weke daar gebly het. En na 2 weke, my vraag was toe aan hulle, wanneer het julle besef, maar hoor hierso die res van die volk gaan nie by ons aansluit.
Sy pap en aardwurms was klaar.
Iets is nie lekker nie. En het julle nie radio geluister nie, en het julle nie, en hulle sê toe nie, hulle het radio geluister, maar hulle het gedink, die staatsbeheerde, of die radio is deur die staat oorgegaan, hulle is in op dit. En hulle het, toe hulle besef, maar hoorie so die res van die volk gaan nie kom nie, was toe iemand met 'n stasie waar inpoel, en besig is om sy pap reg te maak, visse te vang. Toe gaan vra hulle vir die ou, hoorie so, waar is die res van die volk? Toe sê hulle nee maar, hoekom? Toe sê hulle nee maar, almal moet hier by mekaar kom, hierdie is by mekaar maak punt. Maar die punt wat ek wil maak is, jy kry daai ekstreem vorm van mense aan daai kant, en jy kry daai selfe ekstreem aan die ander kant.
Jy het getroud met een nou. So 'n bietjie konspirasies glo, né?
But people
ek sit by die dam.
Sometimes it doesn't necessarily matter about the education of if you find that there's a trusted form of media. I mean, you guys being in radio, you know the story about the War of the Worlds. It's a great movie with Tom Cruise, but before that, it was a like a story, but a short story.
Yes, yeah.
And it's a famous story where this guy read it on national radio, and read the whole story from beginning to end for about an hour and a half, 2 hours or something. I stand corrected on the time. But people thought that there were aliens attacking. New York had been taken.
No, but that's
They're
a
in
true
the
story.
streets.
Yeah.
No, dis reg.
No, that's a true story that he read it and people thought it was going on. Yeah.
Ja, dit moes reg en toe dink hulle maar die aliens is
People
besig
thought
om
they
in
were
te
real
val.
aliens. Yeah, it's
Ja.
about the 1930s.
There was a guy, I'm busy reading a book, it's an awesome book, you should read it, everybody should read it. It's called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
Yeah.
So, in the book, and it's a true story. Daar is die ou, en ons het nou die dag oor op die lig gepraat. Hy het die Tweede Wêreldoorlog, hy was die Japaneese keiser het vir hom gesê, never surrender, you don't surrender, maak nie saak wat hulle vir jou sê nie, die oorlog is aan die go, ons fight tot die dood. En die ou het die oorlog gefight tot 1984, of 1989,
1974.
1974. So van 1945 het die Tweede Wêreldoorlog klaargemaak. En dieselfde ding, hulle het briefies uit vliegtuie uitgegooi om hom te maak stop, want hy het oorlog gemaak. En hy was besig om mense in die villages te plunder en dood te maak en guerrilla oorlogvoering. Wat was dit? 35 jaar het hy hierdie oorlog gevoer met niemand. En op 'n dag het iemand net besluit, wel weet jy wat, hulle gaan in die bosse loop en net sy naam roep. En toe kom hy hoor iemand roep sy naam, toe kom hy uit, sê hulle van maar die oorlog is verby, 1945. En dis regtig is 'n ware verhaal.
Yes,
It's a true story.
Wow.
Imagine hoe voel jy nadat jy besig om oorlog te maak teen actually niemand, maar ja. En dan kom jy uit
Jy
en
dink jy wen.
die ergste van alles is jy het verloor.
Hier, jy's hier, ek is 2 punte voor. Ek is goed.
Ja, dis 'n ware verhaal, gelees die boek, is nogal cool. Okay, ons gaan musiek toe gaan saam met Makele en dan wanneer ons terugkom is dit daai tyd van die program. Ek weet nie wat vanaand op ons wag nie,
Kan nie wag nie.
Ons gaan dit oorlos aan die producers en wat? Hoekom kyk julle vir my? Ek is
Ons kyk, jy sê jy's die leier. Ons moet mos nou vir jou volg vanaand.
How many songs? Are we going to do one song or two? Should we do
What do you have in mind?
I have, how about Country Roads from John Denver?
Let's do that one, and then we come back with the thing that's going to happen, and then we play out with 2 songs. How's that?
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Whatever we need to do to delay this prank.
Ek het so 'n feeling die band kak vanaand.
I constantly have that feeling.
Ja, nee, join the club.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain, Shenandoah River. Life is older, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, blowing like a breeze. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country road. Hey! All my memories gather round her. Miner's lady, stranger to the water. Dark and dusty, painted on the sky. Misty taste of moonshine, teardrops in my eyes. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads. I hear the voice in the morning, now she calls me. The radio reminds me of my home far away. And driving down the road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country road, country roads, take me home to the place where I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home. Country roads, take me home. Country roads, take me home. Country.
Elvis Blue het geen bekendstelling nodig nie. Ons is trots om aan te kondig dat hy op Saterdag 26 September sy verskyning maak op die WimTV Bottom Sessies. Wees verseker dat hierdie 'n vertoning gaan wees wat jy nie wil misloop nie.
Ek was sonder water, maar jy was die brug.
Kaartjies kos slegs R55 en is beskikbaar by wimtv.net.
Dis 'n lang pad toe kom stap jy so alleen. Ek wil jou pad langs jou loop.
We've been making our crispy and juicy buffalo wings the same way for decades. The Spur way. We use only the meatiest and most tender wings. First, they're cooked at 160 degrees to get them nice and crispy. Then we finish them off in our famous turkey sauce, a saucy miracle in its own right. The steak, ribs, burger, and wings, people. Spur, people with a taste for life.
Die WimTV show waar ons sê wat ons wil oor wie ons wil vir so lank as wat ons wil.
Daar het magically goed vir ons geappear,
Ja.
wat my pla is die band het niks.
Ja.
Dis nommer 1. Nommer 2, ek wil net sê vir die rekord dat julle weet ek het 'n maagseer ding met my darm. So
Ja.
ek kan nie enige soos warm goed.
It hasn't stopped you in the last 4
Is hierdie nie soos Afrikaner-based violence nie? kan ek dit net, ek gooi dit vir julle daar dis nou, wat dink jy?
Ek kan so lank. Okay, kom ek vertel jou so lank terwyl ons wag. That was an awesome version of Country Roads.
Thank you, thanks,
I think that's part of what makes this show special as it is. Jy het nog eens wat nou?
Get your bucket, man.
Ek het gedog is Timian, maar fuck it.
Waar is jou emmer?
Hy is hier so ek het my mics, alles is te kort vanaand.
Dit kan
Nee, ek weet dit kan nie weet, ek weet ek het nog nie
Dis
geruik
wat-
nie, maar
Dis wat Jackie ook gereeld sê.
Wat?
Alles is te kort vanaand.
Jy sukkel met my, né? Mannetjie. Onthou nou, ek ken
Anyway.
probably die tweede meeste geheime van jou. So as jy wil chat, moet jy sê.
So Mark, that was part of the show.
I see
Remember
Courtney.
when we started with the planning for WimTV, I said to you, let's do music, but let's do the stuff completely different to what people are used to. So thanks for coming up with that. That's the way we wanted to have it. Volgende week is Mark nie saam met ons nie. Hy gaan bietjie you're having a show.
I'm going on holiday, man.
Ek wou net sê,
holiday.
jy's 4 weke hier klaar op
Holiday.
vakansie.
Weren't you on holiday enough for the past 3 months?
Lockdown, daddy daycare every day. Come on, give me a break.
And guess who will be standing in for Mark?
Wah, wah, wah.
Oh.
My brother.
I'll miss you the most.
Wat gaan jy vir ons prepare om te sing, Simon?
Ag weet jy wat, ek gaan regtig gaan met 'n verskeidenheid. Ek sal seker afskop met ietsie maklik soos 'n Pavarotti nommer. Ietsie lekker maklik. Dan middel sal ek seker iets ook easy mid-range, bietjie tricky as jy sal nou verstaan. Julle is aan die soos 'n Queen, soos Birmingham ja reg.
Ja, dis average.
En dan weet jy wat, dan sal ek op 'n lekker hoë noot soos 'n Bieber nommertjie eindig.
No problem.
Ja.
So dis maar die tipe. Ek gaan hom regtig waar
Ietsie om na uit te sien.
Ja, iets om na uit te sien.
Iets om na uit te
Stem.
sien.
Ja, ek kan nie wag nie. Ek gaan net hier sit en vir jou kyk. Andersins
So,
het ons
bly
ook vir
ingeskakel.
Andersins het ons ook vir Jackie Lou volgende week op die show. Hy bring 'n sang wat hy geskryf het. Wat hy wil hê ons moet doen.
Is hy dus net 'n gaskunstenaar wat ek nie sing nie.
Ja, hy's soos 'n
Hy's jou sidekick.
hy's 'n sidekick.
Kan jy dan sê okay? Nee, ek vra net. Okay,
Hy-
Jackie.
Hy bring 'n sang. Die sang se naam is Yes, dis lekker.
Dis die song se naam.
Ja.
En waaroor gaan dit?
Yes, dis lekker. Ja, dis waar dit gaan. En die sang
kan jy dit sing?
Ja.
Hy het nou net.
Ek het nou net. Yes, dis lekker. Dan doen ek dit weer.
So dis diep en
Dis lekker.
Dis 'n lekker
Dis
liedjie.
lekker. Dis
So
lekker.
Stan, jy is 'n politieke wetenskaplike. So jy weet van Plato en
O ja, maar dis filosofie, dis nie politiek nie.
okay.
Alhoewel al die wetenskappe gebore is uit die
Uit dit
filosofie.
uit.
Ja.
Just a basis to spin the argument like that. Come on.
Aristotel.
Ja.
Okay, so
Vader van
wat was
wetenskap.
die basiese beginsel van Aristotel se filosofie?
Ek het nie gesê ek het dit deurgekom hè. Ek onthou Plato was eers toe Sokrates, toe Aristotel wiskunde.
And then it was happy hour.
Ja.
at the bar.
Een van hulle het gesê die appel val nie ver van die boom af nie.
Dit was Newton.
Ja, dis my mannetjie.
Isaac.
Nie net 'n sanger nie, né? Anyway.
Okay, julle so hierso is die reëls. Hou vas.
O, ek dink ons moet ook gaan nou.
Ja, wag. Elke kry 3 shots. Ons wil sê wie eerste klaar is.
It's cheating. God, every time.
Wat was die laaste een?
Oh. What's the budget
Kan
of the
ek jou-
show for
kan ek jou
microphones?
Emerkie leen? Wow. Kan ons ietsie kry om te
What was it? Tell us what it was.
met 'n bietjie
What was that stuff?
I don't know, it was like
Was it nice?
dit was iemand se pee. Maar dit was okay.
No way, man.
Camel pee is totally fine, but if it's
Yeah.
human pee, then you got a problem.
No,
COVID, bro. You don't know.
Wimpy, baie geluk Wimpy, jy het gewen vandag.
Dankie.
En ons het vir jou 'n geskenkie gebring
Ag,
omdat jy
nee.
gewen het.
Julle sê julle het my geset up, nee. They set me up. You know what? They set me up.
Holy shit.
They said to me, whatever you do, finish first.
Oh, did they?
I swear on my life, they said to me,
Dis
whatever
nie
you do,
jou eie
finish
mense
first.
nie.
Ek gaan nie They set me up on this one.
Happy birthday Wimpy.
Ja.
Dis vir jou.
Hoor gou, kan ek net gou vir julle iets sê? Ek is nie 'n alpie nie en ek weet wat hier aangaan. En ek sê nou vir julle, ek gaan
Want jy op vir volgende week.
Ek gaan myself heeltemal bekak want hierdie is 'n slang. Die slangman is hier. Teens het 'n fucking pofadder by sy huis,
No
my
way.
vriend.
Hoekom?
Ja, daai is ja. Ek dink ons moet vir julle groet. Nee. Nee, ek kan nie daai ding oopmaak nie, nee. Dit is 'n slang.
Wag.
Is dit nie 'n slang nie? Sweer dit. As dit 'n slang is. Simon. Julle weet ek kan nie dit handle nie, nee, my hart.
It's moving.
Gooi dit af. Gooi net
There's definitely something alive
gooi
in
net die
here.
deksel af. Nee. Okay, moenie dit doen nie.
Jy kom met weer, Wimpy.
Ek kan nie dit doen nie, nee.
Dis 'n panda beertjie.
Ek kan nie. Is dit slang? Bye.
Holy shit.
I told you. Ek het julle gesê.
No, man.
Yes.
The Lizard King. Time some door.
Wimpy? As jy nie hou van 'n grootte nie, ek het vir jou 'n kleintjie.
Nee. Okay, julle baie dankie. Dit was 'n great show.
Kom terug.
Ons doen dit weer met julle môre. Volgende week, selfde tyd, selfde plek. Bye.
Oh my head. Right, vir die mense wat nou nie bang is vir 'n slang nie. 3 of them are ball pythons. Hulle is baie docile, baie mak, baie rustig. They are called ball pythons because they normally form a little ball. They always try and hide the head. Hulle is eintlik baie skadeloos. Hulle hou van muise, rotte en ja.
That one looks angry.
No, it's just being a bit agitated by the young one. Then this one here, this is a Taiwanese rat snake.
It only eats Taiwanese rats.
Iemand vat gou. Teens. Vat gou die kleintjie net. Vat gou vir Charlie. Daar is hy. Daai een is Charlie. Right. Hier is 'n Taiwanese rat snake. ons molslang wat ons in Suid-Afrika het, hulle val amper in dieselfde klas. Muise, rotte, okay? They are cave snakes as well, so dan vreet hulle vleermuise ook, maar hulle kom oorsakelijk uit Asie uit, Taiwan, obviously Taiwanese rat snake, they also called the beauty rat snake.
Okay.
Ook baie rustig, nog net nie kwaad maak nie. Maar,
Good call.
ja, party van die mense hou hulle aan, rodent control, hierdie wil escape, for rodent control, because they eat mice and rats. Ja, dis maar, vir 'n beginner, vir enigiemand wat wil begin met 'n slang vir 'n kind en dit, is 'n ball python die ideale een om mee te begin, want soos ek sê, is maar baie rustig. Jy kan sien hoe rustig is hierdie grootte.
Ek kan eerlikwaar sê, ek is nog nie oortuig nie.
Wel, ek kan altyd nader kom.
Hoeveel slange het jy?
31.
31.
Ja, waarvan 2 giftig is, white lip tree vipers.
Ja.
Dis die enigste 2 wat ek het wat giftig is. Hierdie is almal non-toxic.
Okay.
So as jy jou byt, dokter toe, tetanus inspuiting, soos 'n geroeste spyker, nothing major.
Okay. But do you have other animals besides just snakes?
Yes.
Okay.
I've got
Are they afraid of the
dogs. No, and I've got a cat. And yeah.
And what would happen if the two kind of met?
Cat walks around, not bothered
No
by them at
problem.
all. No.
Oh. We have had different lives, my friend, I will tell you
Ek
that.
kan nou net sê, volgende keer dan hoor jy, daar was 'n kat.
There was a cat. Yeah. What do ball pythons eat? Cats. That's
Hierdie Taiwanese rat snake raak so 2.8 meter. Hierdie een is 2.4 op hierdie stadium.
Ja.
Hy's so 2.4. Die ball pythons, 'n hatchling, met ander woorde hy is gebore so binne 'n jaar. Hulle gaan vir so enigiets van R500 af op. Hierdie spesifieke ene gaan vir omtrent so 4.5. Hierdie enetjie kyk jy na so tussen 10 en 15,000 rand. Dit gaan oor sy kleurskakering.
Ja.
It's almost like koi fish. That special patterns on it.
Yes.
Ja, en hierdie een is dis 'n pied en hierdie is 'n normal.
Okay.
Ja.
That's quite a big difference in price. So the snake world is somewhat racist as well.
Pricist.
That one's coming for Vimpy. Vimpy, where are you, bro? This one's looking for you.
Wie wil 'n foto neem met 'n
It's like
slang?
that. It's like that book that you got. That book
Ja,
that we used to
seker.
have as kids. With Where's Wally? But ours is Waar's
Jy kan die
Vimpy.
sterkant vat. Ek sê die kopkant vat.
Well done, man.
Okay, nou kan ek gou vir eerlik iets sê. I hate people that scare people with snakes. I don't like it at all. That's why I believe in educating people and get them to know snakes.
Yes.
Ja, wees nog steeds versigtig want 'n slang kan giftig wees as hy in 'n hoek gedryf word. But they would rather flee than attack first.
Yes. Absolutely. Van my kant af hier agter en stem wat
Ek
hier
hoor
langs
daar
my
is
staan.
agter.
Ja, julle met 'n heerlike aand. Baie dankie dat julle by ons aangesluit het. Ons is volgende week terug saam met jou. Saterdag met die biltong sessie. Ons sien vir julle daar. Julle het 'n lekker aand hê. Goeienag. Ons speel uit vir die band.
Kom raak nou rustig.
Someone told me long ago, there's a calm before the storm. I know it's been coming for some time. somewhere down the road, always. End of the line. You'll think of me and wonder where I am these days. Never been on the line. Maybe somewhere down the road when somebody plays. The end of the line. Purple haze. Mark Hayes. Well, it's alright. Even when push comes to shove, well, it's alright. If you got someone to love, well, it's alright. Everything will work out fine, well, it's alright. We're going to the end of the line. Don't have to be ashamed of the car I drive. The end of the line. I'm just glad to be happy to be alive. The end of the line. It don't matter if you're by my side. The end of the line. I'm satisfied. Well, it's alright. Even if you're old and gray, well, it's alright. Still got something to say. Well, it's alright. Remember to live and to live. Well, it's alright. Best that you can do is forgive. Well, it's alright. Running around in the breeze. Well, it's alright. If you live the life that you please. Well, it's alright. Even if the sun don't shine. Well, it's alright. We're going to the end of the line.
Baie dankie dat jy deel is van die WimTV show. Vir meer kontroversiële gesprekke, maak seker jy kry jou kaartjie vir volgende week se uitsending by wimtv.net.
Let it come, let it fall. I know I'll be alone. You can try, I will not be denied. Too strong to be defeated. My light burns bright. And while you're seated, I will stand and I will fight. Too strong to be defeated. My strength is within. I was born for today. WimTV.